Many people fall out for Kanu this time around. Now they hear me. Make una give that man his flower. So me I just need to talk am because the way you people they treat that man, una know the man big pass like this, all this way una dey do. Una dey hear me. It deserve much respect. Na Kanu name we suppose to dey hear everywhere. No matter. But many of you people are just ungrateful. I don't know how I go take talk am. Yes. Because Nigeria, una be one kind people wey be say una dey quick forget person. Imagine despite the fact that Nnamdi Kanu is an hero, he dey fight for his people. The man dey try hard to get freedom for his people. But you people just take that man like say na nobody. I swear. Imagine a whole Nnamdi Kanu come court the last time. He just come like say na nobody. A whole Nnamdi Kanu. You know they say Nnamdi Kanu pass you. He pass all the politicians. Na me dey tell you. He pass all of them. A whole Nnamdi Kanu come court last time. He just tell us say nobody come court. I remember when VTN go court, we know how we are follow. We march court. I remember well, I follow. He good, that one he good, nobody say no good. But why we know Nnamdi Kanu need to pass like that? That is the point. I beg, when I give this man his flower, I know they even hear people they talk about that myself. Yes, many of them just focus on their life, on their business. Now just do like say the man no exist. Free Nnamdi Kanu and make all of us come out in masses for that man. Nnamdi Kanu is the best. Free Nnamdi Kanu. So now, on the 21st of March, yes, so Nnamdi Kanu will appear in court. Yes. You know why me I want to do this video be say the time wey very dark man go court, all of us dey there, we appear for VTN, yes, to show support. Yes, which is good. Yes, which is good. Very, very nice. So make we use the same energy for Nnamdi Kanu too. Yes. Make we use the same energy for Nnamdi Kanu. Alpha, 21st of March, this man they go coach Alpha. Where una dey? Now dey game o. If you are interested, say make we gather do the movement together. Just enter my DM. Nnamdi Kanu, make we dey there for the man. He's an hero. He's my father.
Hello everyone and welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by. So my people, you guys know that on 21st of this month, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu trial is going to start afresh. So this young man here is suggesting that we should come out in mass to support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the court, which I believe that this is a great idea. This is a great suggestion, right? And a lot of people are saying that even if we want to protest, it's supposed to be for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is very, very true. So a lot of people, especially lawyers, saying that starting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial afresh is unlawful because court has already discharged and acquitted him. Because to start Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial afresh is like Nigeria government is just looking for something to use against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in order to put him in jail, right? So in this particular video that I want to show you guys, there is a particular video Mr. Kocha attached in this video where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had an interview. Like everything Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said in that particular video is exactly what is happening today in Nigeria. When people say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a prophet, like indeed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he is a prophet, honestly. So let me allow you guys to watch the video. Please don't forget to subscribe if today is your first time here, and also don't forget to turn on the post notification bell on. It is very, very important so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be the first person to be notified. Share the video to your friends and family, and also give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for doing so.
Before now, I think a lot of people are aware that Nnamdi Kanu will be going to court on Friday this week. That is the 21st day of March 2025. So he will be going to face Justice Omotosho. Yeah, that is the name of the new judge assigned to Nnamdi Kanu. Now, one of the most controversial cases I've ever seen, okay? Well, I don't too much pay attention to the legal proceedings of other countries. But as far as I'm concerned, to the best of my knowledge, Nnamdi Kanu's trial is one of the most controversial cases I have ever seen. Because the federal government of Nigeria, they have done what they are not supposed to do, both kidnapping him, and the worst thing is that the same Supreme Court of that country has faulted government for doing all these things, so many things they did against Nnamdi Kanu. So everywhere meaning lawyers are speaking forth because of the upcoming case, but that will not change what is going to happen. So what is going to happen will happen, because it is between the judge and what the judge knows and what influences the judge and what the judge wants to do. It is all about it, okay? So when I mean what influences the judge, it could be the federal government, it could be other forces, okay? Then it depends if the judge will do what is right or not. So I don't even have any probability of saying this will happen or that will happen. It's just to the, determination of the judge. Now, why is it that so many lawyers are beginning to speak forth now? Again, because of this case. This is because it has become an international embarrassment, okay? It's an international embarrassment. A lot of international bodies, including the United Nations, has recommended the immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu, but yet nobody, cares to understand the consequences of the continuous incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, let us see what this lawyer is talking about. Now, it says, human rights lawyer Barrister Christopher Chidera has criticized the Nigerian government's decision to restart the prosecution of Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, from scratch. He describes any attempt to prosecute Kanu under the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act of 2013 as legally indefensible, procedural improper, and morally unjustifiable. Now, if the federal government of Nigeria, for those of you that always say that the politicians are working to resolve this issue, they are working to do what is it called political solution and so on and so forth. The Nigerian government, they are not ready because of the influence above them and influence beyond them. Before, I told you people about the influence from the Southeast politicians who never wanted Nnamdi Kanu to come out. And the world knows, I'm sorry to say this, the world knows that Nnamdi Kanu is a dangerous secessionist. What I mean by that is that if Nnamdi Kanu is determined that he is going to lead Biafra to secession, or should I say a new recognition, because a country was declared before, before the civil war happened. If Nnamdi Kanu really wants to do that with the way he was going, he will achieve it and nothing can stop him. And that is why so many people from around the world, especially people who are benefiting from Nigeria, they tag Nnamdi Kanu a dangerous secessionist, a man who knows what to do about secession. A man who will not even carry a weapon against you, but you will see him as more dangerous than people who are carrying weapons. A man who can use his words to bring everything down, to stand still. So they see him as a very dangerous secessionist. And that is why the Nigerian government, they are violating all the whole law, all the whole norms. Any law you can even come and think about. Nigerian government are violating it because of Nnamdi Kanu. Yeah. They are ready to paint their name black. They are ready to paint their name like this country is just a useless country, a shithole. They are ready to continue to violate the law because of just Nnamdi Kanu. But the question is, how long will they continue? Yes, that is the hope, because nothing lasts forever. Power will not also last forever. Let's continue to understand the position of this lawyer, Mr. Chidera. He says that Chidera urged the Tinubu administration to promptly engage in peaceful negotiation to resolve the matter amicably before midnight on Thursday, 28th March 2021. Why? Because on 21st is the date of the court proceeding. Okay. Now, he warned that failure to do so could lead to the exposure of high-profile corruption, systematic failure, and injustice within Nigeria's judicial system. Anyway, Nigeria, do they care? They don't care. They are bent to killing people who speak for, people who are speaking for. If you say the truth, they come after you. When the referral to me wrote about Nigeria, judicial system, the corruption in it, they came against him. The whole powers that be, if not that people spoke and people stood for him, everybody rose up. That man could have been in detention up till now. Now, in a statement released over the weekend in Abuja, it was highlighted that Nnamdi Kanu case serves as a start illustration of the vulnerabilities within the Nigerian legal and judicial system when faced with the relentless pursuit of justice and self-determination. The statement emphasized that the section of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act of 2013, which the prosecution has relied upon, is no longer an active law in Nigeria. It further argued that attempting to proceed under a repeal status amount to a violation of the long-standing doctrine of stare decisis, a principle that upholds the consistency and integrity of the justice in common law system. Now, let me explain what this guy is saying, what this lawyer is saying. And that was what Tomo Elesewore said some time ago, that this Terrorism Amendment Act of 2013, something like that, has been amended. The law they are using to charge him for this terrorism act when they shifted from treason does not exist. So the law is no longer existing, has been amended. So the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, everybody knows that it is not because of prosecution. They just want to keep him there. They just want to delay everything. They just want to see if this man could have change of mind, if we can weaken his morale, if we can make sure that this man does not, continue in high spirit that he is. But what they see every day is totally opposite. Because this same man they have been keeping to demoralize, he will come to court and show them that he is a liar. He will show them that, no, I'm not being deterred with what you people are doing. He will also come to show them that, listen, life is life, death is death. People who are even dead are not better than people who are alive, because everyone living, even you watching me talking to you, we are all going to die. So that is another point where people who seriously understand this world systems, we all are going to die. So what is the essence of fear? Anyway, the article continues that it further argued that attempting to proceed under a repeal status amounts to a violation of the long-standing doctrine of shared. Okay, start this is I've read that place. Okay, let me stop the article here because the article continues. Now, everybody understands what this man is saying, because just imagine the judicial rascality that was going on, or should I say court process rascality, where after a judge we said, okay, since the defendant don't trust me, I think I have the right to recuse myself according to the law. So after doing that, it becomes legal. Now they still go back to tell the woman, you must continue the case. So in every angle, every step that these people are taking, the world is seeing that these people are biased. These people, the process is fraudulent. Okay, the process of trying this man is fraudulent. And let's see what is going to happen on Friday. Thanks for listening.
Do you think your objective is achievable?
It is achievable because you would expect any dictatorial state, you would expect any backward banana republic, which Nigeria has become, to speak in exactly those terms. But what they have cleverly forgotten is that they are the instigators of separation. They are the ones making the polity ungovernable. They are the ones going about pillaging, killing, sacking villages and occupying them. They are the ones that have taken nepotism to a new and unbelievable level. They are the ones running Nigeria as if it is a private family business. They are the ones that have promised and sworn to bring Islam into Biafra land. They are the ones arming and equipping the 4 known terror groups you have in Nigeria to cause havoc and kill innocent people. We are not going to fold our hands and watch this continue to happen. The same set of circumstances obtained in 1966 when over 300,000 Biafrans were slaughtered in the north. That led to the declaration of the state of Biafra in 67. This time around, we are far more prepared, far more knowledgeable, far more aware, and far more exposed to allow the same thing to happen to us again. They promised to Islamize and to colonize us, but we will not allow that to happen.
So let me ask you this. Recently, when Nigeria held elections, you made a proclamation about a support for one party or another. People said, if you want an independent state, why support a party to participate in an election that you don't believe in, that really undermines your objective of having an independent state of Biafra?
First of all, we are Democrats, and secondly, we did not advocate for the voting of any particular party. What we said very clearly is that the policies of APC, as championed by the cabal who are in charge in Abuja, is not sustainable and cannot be supported. We also wanted to demonstrate our ability to be flexible and more so to respond to the yearnings and aspirations of our elders who demanded and pleaded with us to allow the voting to go ahead. But what I can say to you is that voting in Nigeria, as you've well seen, thankfully you were there to observe it, is not only shambolic, but is an exercise in futility. Voting doesn't count in Nigeria. People voting in Nigeria is a wasted effort. All the ballot boxes, all the ballot papers, all the polling stations belonging to Biafrans in Lagos, for instance, Abuja, Kanu, Kaduna, and Zaria, were all destroyed during the election day, rendering it absolutely useless. What they have said to us is that we do not belong to Nigeria, we are not part of Nigeria. It is even a worse form of apartheid than what obtained in South Africa. Those are the conditions we are being forced to live under. Where the circumstances allowed us to participate, of course, we said we are lifting the boycott, but as you can see, regardless of what you do, the outcome is always predetermined. The Fulanis in the north will always write the results, and the army will enforce it, and the court will rubber stamp it, and that's where we are today.
Does your cause entail in engaging with the government to achieve your objective, or does that also entail picking up arms against the administration or the state of Nigeria?
Not at all. We are averse to picking up arms. We are not interested in armed struggle. We believe that ideologically and intellectually that this war can be won, and won very convincingly. Therefore, there will be no recourse to armed conflict. But in terms of dialogue, you can't say no to discussing with people. If they want to discuss the terms of separation, we are more than willing to accommodate them. But one thing is obvious. We are not going to stop until Biafra is restored. Our approach of civil disobedience and making sure that nothing functions that will benefit the central government in Nigeria continues unabated. We don't intend to slacken. We don't intend to retreat any iota. And believe you me, that Biafra will come in the not too distant future. I'm very confident of that.
What does the state of Biafra mean for the people of the land?
It is the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this very earth. What we have seen and continue to see since the creation of Nigeria is a level of backwardness and regression which nobody ever envisaged. Not even those that fought the British for independence could have foreseen what Nigeria would become in some decades down the line. What you're seeing is a new level of what I call primitivity in governance, a new level of poverty, a new level of backwardness, a new level of what they have done in essence is to destroy every fabric that sustains any modern viable democracy. By any stretch of the imagination, you couldn't possibly describe Nigeria as a civilized, viable country. All the places that I've been to touring the world, speaking to policymakers and influencers have led me to believe that no one has any hope that Nigeria will survive. And I can assure you, it will not survive. With this reign of terrorism, this brutal repression of free speech, this clampdown on the very core tenets of democracy, that there is no way that the Fulani template for Nigeria can survive the next 5 years. I do not envisage it.
Some people have said that what you are advocating invariably puts your supporters, and for that matter, the Igbo community, in danger, not only in Nigeria, but the rest of the world. How do you react to that?
We know that freedom is very expensive. We are here in the United States of America, where people fought and died and sacrificed their lives to sustain what is arguably the most civilized modern nation on the face of the earth. We recognize those sacrifices, and it is something that we're prepared to make. If ultimately, at the end of this very process, there is only one Biafran man and one Biafran woman left, we will make do with that. They can go ahead and procreate and create the future Biafra nation. What we must state very clearly is that nobody should underestimate our resolve. We are determined. My mother have just died as a result of this very effort. Many more have gone, and we are prepared to sacrifice whatever it takes to ensure that Biafra is restored. because it's not just the hope of, say, the Biafrans themselves. Biafra will save other ethnic groups within Nigeria, and Biafra, I believe very strongly, is the beacon and the hope and the light of Africa. Once Biafra stands as an independent entity, believe you me, you will record development and progress within the wider Africa. But without Biafra, none of that will ever happen.
Some Igbo monarchs have petitioned or have requested and urged the government to allow you to come back home and give your mother, your deceased mother, a befitting burial. What is your stance on that?
My mother died as a result of the agitation for Biafra, and she made it very clear when she was alive that anything that I have to do to ensure that Biafra is restored is what I must do. And asking anybody to allow me to go back home to bury my mother is not part of that plan and is not part of that agreement. I have not asked anyone to speak to or lobby anybody on my behalf, and I will not, and I will not accept any, should it come across to me. What we are trying to say is this: I am not interested in going back to bury my mother, if that will entail the killing, disappearance, and extrajudicial torture, as they always do, against our people. We are not, I repeat, we are not going to do anything to jeopardize the lives of our people. But one thing is certain, that my mother will be buried. I may be there, I may not be there, but it will not come via the dictates or the permission of the Asoro cabal that currently run Nigeria.
Let me ask you this. Some of your critics are saying the advocate for the state of Biafra is inward looking, is tribalistic, as they said, or ethnic state, and that you are seeking the disintegration of Nigeria, which they said is unacceptable because it questions the territorial integrity of the state of Nigeria.
Who created Nigeria? The British. Are they Nigerians? Are the British people, are they Africans by any stretch of imagination? Is Frederick Lugard an African? What they're trying to say in essence is that because Nigeria was created by Frederick Lugard, somehow it confers upon it certain legitimacy which Nnamdi Kanu, as a black African man, is not entitled to question. That's what I'm saying. We keep forgetting that Nigeria is an artificial creation. It never existed until Lugard came. There was nothing called Nigeria before the British set their foot on that part of West Africa. Therefore, what we are trying to do is to return us to the basics, to the way we were before they came. Some people have argued, and I would say not very convincingly, that we should just move on from here. The only thing you can give a name and it bears that name is your pet, either your cat or your dog. By accepting the name Nigeria, what we have done in essence is to say we are not capable of creating a civilized society by ourselves and for our people. Are you telling me I can go to Europe and create a nation in Europe? Are you remotely suggesting that I can come to the United States of America, carve out perhaps the state of California, and then give them whatever name that I like? Does Nigeria even have a meaning? Nigeria is a nigger area. That is the meaning of it. It is a nigger, a place for niggers. That's the meaning of Nigeria. That is the appropriate pronunciation. Are you suggesting that we should adopt such a name for our people? Why can't Africans come together and give themselves the name that they feel that they deserve? Ghana was formerly called Gold Coast, and they changed it because the people took ownership of their destiny. Why can't something happen within Nigeria? Let me tell you this. The only reason why people are apoplectic about Biafra when it's mentioned and our need for freedom is they fear for their well-being in terms of their access to oil and gas in Biafra land. All the resources that sustains Nigeria, that makes it the so-called giant of Africa, is located within Biafra. The oil and gas is within Biafra. The manpower is within Biafra. So when people talk about this fear of breaking up Nigeria, it is because they are afraid that they cannot survive on their own without access to oil and gas.
I'm not cutting you short, but we have an instance where South Sudan came out of Sudan, where Sudan lost approximately over 60% of its natural resources. It's now trying to jumpstart its economy and all that. Do you want that for Nigeria as a people, a country that has lasted for nearly 60-something years? Is this what you want for the people that you've grown up with, you went to school with, the country is still thriving, a bastion of commerce on the continent?
But the same argument could be made for Ethiopia. You've just spoken to the Archbishop of the Catholic Church in Addis Ababa, extolling the virtues of the Prime Minister. The reason why he received the Nobel Prize is because Ethiopia is outward looking. They recognize and acknowledge all these various agitations. They also accept the need for people to exert their identity and for people to, if the idea is to ensure that economically Nigeria does not collapse. I have said it, and I will also go on record here on VOA to say it once again, that we will be prepared to pipe oil and gas to every region within Nigeria. We are prepared to share the natural resources in Biafra land with all the relevant and component parts of Nigeria to demonstrate very clearly that our agitation has nothing to do with the economic emasculation of Nigeria, but has everything to do with our right as a people to determine where we want to go to. Ours is about self-determination, and our people must. You must also know that half of the Yoruba race is in Dahomey, in Benin Republic. That is the danger of having Europeans come to Africa to draw your boundaries for you. We are basically operating in this present day Africa, the boundaries drawn up in 1884 by Otto von Bismarck in Germany. Do you think that is fair? I don't think it is. And it is the duty and responsibility of Africans to apply African solutions to African problems. The idea that you can come to Africa and just say, you, from today you are all Nigerians, I think is laughable. You cannot do that anywhere else, only in Africa. Why must we allow it?
Before we go, Nnamdi, what do you expect for your people in the next 5 to 10 years' time in this struggle to establish what you described as a Biafran state?
My expectation is that in the not too distant future, there will be Biafra. If there is no Biafra, believe you me, the consequences will be disastrous for everyone. The Middle Belt people are suffering. Even for the very first time, they're bringing their murderous carnage into the Yoruba land. I shouldn't call it Yoruba, actually. It's Oduduwa, because we've been told that Yoruba means something completely different. It's Odua. Now they have come into the West. They have pillaged and have sacked the Middle Belt. And in Biafra land as we speak, we are under attack. Continuing with one Nigeria means surrendering our land, our way of life, to an alien culture from the Sahel. It is not something we are prepared to countenance. I assure you this. No matter, regardless of what it would take to ensure the coming of Biafra, that is exactly what we are going to do. I do not see Biafra, in fact, to be honest with you, I see Biafra coming before the next 10 years. I can say that to you, very categorically. If Biafra doesn't come within the next 10 years, there will be no peace in that part of the world. Because we cannot stand idly by and watch them rape our mothers, abduct our daughters, massacre and rape at will. It cannot just happen. No sane, sensible person will be able to withstand that. Everybody knows. I don't know why the media in the West doesn't talk about what is happening in Nigeria. You have the Fulani headsmen who have come with the full and total support of the Nigerian state to wreak havoc.
The government has said that the government has stepped up efforts to increase security, bolster security in certain areas where Boko Haram and terrorist groups have been fighting. So the government is doing something about it. This is what the government is saying. Are you saying the government is not doing its job, which is constitutionally mandated to protect life and property?
Where is Boko Haram operating in the north, isn't it? Boko Haram is in the north. ISIS in West Africa in the north. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb from the north. Fulani headsmen from the north. Only these people from the north is responsible for sponsoring 4 frontline terror groups around the world. Only them. And where do you have Operation Python Dance? In Biafra land. Where do you have Operation Crocodile Smile? In Biafra land. There is no singular military exercise going on in the north. They are running away from the battlefields. All the money that they get from the USA, all the military assistance they get from all over the world is geared towards suppressing civilian populations in the south. Nothing is happening in the north. When was the last time that VOA heard of any pitched battle between the Nigerian armed forces and the terrorists in the north? None. But they are down in the south, killing, pillaging, assisting, basically forming themselves as the vanguard for the terrorists to come in and take over. That is what is happening, and that's the reality on the ground. All the lies that the Nigerian government have been telling the whole world about how they are battling Boko Haram, we have been puncturing all of that. I've been in the US now for getting to over a week, and we've been doing a lot of work, I can assure you of that. And very soon, all will unravel. Because now, the policymakers here, in this very great capital of a very great nation, understand what Nigeria is up to. How come they gave Mietiala 100 billion naira, which roughly translated things about 800 million naira? Oh, sorry, dollars. From where did they get that money from? This is the fourth most deadly terrorist group in the world. The government themselves are actively encouraging them by paying them to go and take over lands belonging to other people.
So my people, that is it. Like indeed, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he is a prophet. He made this video like long time ago, but everything Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said in that video is exactly what is happening. He said that if they refuse Biafra to go, that Nigeria will keep going backward, that there will be confusion, and this is exactly what is happening today in Nigeria. So we are hoping to go out there to support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on 21st of March this month. Just as this young man suggested, we need to come out in mass and support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because he is a hero, which everyone knows about it, and this is why they are kind of scared of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But it is well, let the will of God be done. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will definitely regain his freedom, whether they like it or not. So as I can bring this update to you guys, I hope you really enjoy watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and also leave your thoughts in the comment section. Yes, I'm going to see you guys in my next update. Goodbye for now.